Hey everyone, welcome to Zeitgeist Zealots. I'm Forrest.
I'm Major.
I'm Robbie.
And today we all saw, well, this is the 101st episode, so like we're still going strong. Triple digits.
Yo,
Still going
I haven't
strong.
seen that since my body count in Halo 2.
Nice.
Thank you.
Yeah, I haven't seen triple digits since my had A's in high school, so yeah, then went down.
Did you say AIDS or A's?
A's. I want to show everyone in school how I got A's. And then hopefully they can get A's themselves after being with me. All right, so
That's a good study, buddy. A wink.
So we all saw Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 3 this week, and we're really excited to talk about it.
So excited, but first, can I interrupt? I just want to, I didn't tell you this. I want to spring it on you, right, for spontaneity. I want to talk about one thing real fast, just 2 seconds.
Trump.
I experienced my first wave of cancellation, and I just want to talk about it for a second. I got canceled on the Nextdoor app. You know what Nextdoor is? Are you guys familiar with this app?
I don't think so.
Oh, it's the worst. Have you guys ever talked to your neighbors? No. So like, not security. It's like a social media. It's a localized social media app, right? It's to stay in contact with your neighbors since you guys don't fucking talk to each other anymore, kind of thing.
Yeah.
Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Yeah. Have you guys ever talked to your neighbors?
Well, just to make sure they're not sex offenders, but
right. Yeah. Basically, you just Google that and then exactly. Like I try to talk to my neighbors, like they don't. Like I was like, good morning. Like when I first moved in, I waved and like super friendly hi, like 1990s, 2000s, like suburban hello. Yeah. And like the person just looked at me like I was a fucking crazy person. I was like, well, all right then, never mind. I guess COVID the lockdown just screwed everyone over.
It is funny. Like I live in an apartment complex, and you'll sometimes say hi to people in like the elevator, but I think some other complexes, they're just like people just don't want you talking to them. It's like, why do you live in an apartment complex anyway? It's
right.
Kind of
don't talk to me.
It's kind of meant to be
straightforward.
Yeah.
So I posted on Nextdoor asking my local neighbors. Right. So I have 2 posts on Nextdoor. I'm a big lurker. Right. I like to read what's going on in my neighborhood and how crazy my fucking neighbors are. My first post was about why people don't use turn signals. And it was probably the most viral post I've ever made. Got over like 10,000 interactions in the first 24 hours, right? Which is pretty big because that's like half or a third of like the community, the retirement community that I live in, right? Like, that's pumping out some big numbers. But this time, I asked why my neighbors didn't feel like they had the need to put their carts away after grocery shopping. And my account got suspended. I reached out to Nextdoor. Turns out a lot of people
complaining about that.
A lot of people reported the post I made. However, since I did it respectfully and I didn't violate any terms of services and I didn't use any curse words, I was like super polite, super respectful, just curious. Like, hey guys, like why the goddamn fuck? I didn't say that. Obviously, I was being respectful, but I'm talking to you on the podcast now. Like why the F do you guys think like it's okay for you to not put your carts away? And so many people got upset that they because they couldn't report it for anything else. They just reported that my name was fake, Major, right? And touche, good for them, right? Like, all right, cool, whatever. But that's my first time being canceled.
When you say don't put the carts away, do you mean like put them like taking them all the way back to the store, or just put them into the little cart collection?
Put them in the cart trolley. I'm saying don't unload your cart. Move your cart a foot into the other lot and then just drive away. Right? No. Put your cart put your cart wherever it belongs. Right? I have been to some Publix that don't have like the cart drop-off trolleys in the middle of the parking lot, and that sucks. But you know what? You're white and you're shopping at Publix, motherfucker. So walk the extra 30 feet and go fucking put that cart back. Right? Like, get some goddamn responsibility. Be a good citizen and put your cart back. That's
I think
all
someone on the app had like lost a loved one who was returning their cart back to the store and they got hit by a car. And if they had just left their cart, if they just left their cart in the parking lot, they would have lived. So
it's
I
crazy.
think you stirred those emotions for them. So
dude, all these cars, like everyone, the average age here has to be over 65, right? So I know you guys have been grocery shopping for a long time. You guys all have nice cars, right? And you're telling me you're so okay. And we're Florida. We have hurricane level winds, and you're so okay with these carts just flying around loosey goosey throughout the parking lot. Like maybe it'll hit your car one day, or maybe we just don't be pieces of shit in Florida. That's all I'm saying. Anyway, I got banned. So that was my first day.
That just adds on to my point, Major. If like there's mostly retirees living and senior citizens living in Florida, then it's probably senior citizen who ran over that person's loved one. It's kind of like the episode of South Park, Grey Dawn, where like Randy's like, "Get off the roads! Get off the roads! Old people, drive!"
Oh yeah, that's so good. Yeah. I forget, man. The episode's like so old.
Because pun intended, pun definitely intended. Yeah, because like they're all like at a council meeting. It's like, wait a minute, all the senior citizens are at one place at the same time, and they'll be leaving at the same time.
Yeah.
Oh my! Get off the roads! And there's like a one guy like in a boat. You just hear dun dun dun. And it cuts to like this the way to cut your kitchen buffet. Dun, 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 dun. I think you took a left here. He just drives off the bridge and runs over. And they're like in a haunted house. And it's like, do you hear something? They open up a door. It's like old, like some there's a car in the closet. How'd we get here? That's basically Florida, I'm guessing.
Basically, no, it's 100%. 100%. I made a lot of friends and a couple of enemies about that post about turn signals in the Nextdoor app. I'm not gonna say where I live in Florida, but I live in a major city in Florida, and I went to another major city in Florida, more major city in Florida, and the driving was even worse there. And I was like, holy shit, maybe it's the heat. I don't know what's going on. But guys, if you're traveling in Florida and you've got the extra juice, maybe get that renter's insurance when you're flying into Miami.
Or cart insurance, apparently. If you're getting run over.
Get that car insurance when you're flying.
No, cart insurance.
Cart insurance.
Cart insurance.
What is that? Aldi's? I think that's Aldi's, right? 25 cents for cart insurance.
Well, you'd like pay a quarter to get a cart at Aldi's?
Yeah.
I'm just gonna go to Paris Theater. It's just I don't get it. It's weird. Just weird German efficiency.
You get your quarter back.
Oh, you get it back? Okay. I'm like,
has
a quarter on them.
It's just to make sure
I'm never gonna
steal the cart.
Okay.
So you put a quarter in to unlock the cart, but then when you put the cart back in its place, aka you're a good citizen, you put the cart back, you get a different quarter back. So it's fun. Take a quarter, give a quarter.
Oh, so I get.
And some people will they'll just give you a quarter for their
exactly. Yeah, I was gonna say, Robbie read my mind. I was gonna say, you want to see real humanity? You walk into an Aldi's and you start patting your pockets without a quarter. Someone will give you someone is a good person, and someone out there will give you a quarter.
When you put your quarter in and you bring your cart back, what happens again?
You get the quarter back.
Oh, which one? Cam Newton or
I was waiting for that. Yeah. I appreciate that. There's good.
Who's the new QB for the Panthers again? I forgot. It's
not Tom Brady.
It's not Tom Brady.
Jake Delhomme.
Knock knock. Who's there at the Patriots Stadium? Not Tom Brady. Okay, sort of a catch-all there. I
want to break this down just for a second for all the listeners who have been listening who have come to know us as their best friends, as we are our best friends. Forrest, one faithful day, knocked on my door. Rob and I are hanging out. We're playing Halo or something, and Forrest knocks on the door, and Rob and I answer, and Forrest goes, knock, knock, which is weird. He just knocked and we literally answered the door, but it's Forrest. He's making a joke. So we go, who's there? And he goes, not Heath Ledger. Oh, dude, the man died like 2 months ago. Like, it was like the most savage joke in my entire life.
Right after Dark Knight.
One of the funniest things that I've ever heard. Like, that joke is so savage, so cancelable, and yet one of the funniest things I've ever heard in my entire life. And like 15 years, I don't know how, 15 years later, like I still think about that joke maybe once a week. It's so fucking good.
Yeah, I mean, that's not even like the worst one. There was like a YouTube video about like Batman finds the Joker OD'd. And it's like literally a YouTube video.
Yeah, that's pretty.
I think I showed it to you, Major, back in the day, and you're just like, this is tasteless. Oh no! There's an even better one where it's just like Jack Nicholson comments on Heath Ledger's death, and they just play a clip from the first Batman movie where he's saying, "I'm glad you're dead. I'm glad you're dead." This is a recording from that movie, so A lot of tasteless stuff back then.
Yeah, comedy, dark. Don't let
Speaking of dark comedy, speaking of dark subject matter and comedy,
are you guys ready to get
Guardians of the Galaxy had a lot of both of those things.
What a backstory of Rockets.
Very dark backstory, yeah.
We have so much to get into. I want to open up with, I'm just here. All right, I'm going to read this from my Twitter account. We're going to talk about Garbage of the Galaxy Volume 3. Now, that's what happens when you fire a director. That's what I'm calling this movie.
Well, it's just funny. This is probably like the darkest, even more so than like Infinity War, where like half the universe.
Oh, and they get one of their actual F-bombs.
Yeah, the first F-bomb.
The first F-bomb.
First F-bomb.
How perfect is that? Like, dude,
so get in the fucking door.
Open the fucking door.
We've all been fucking pissed off as someone who just can't open the damn passenger side door.
I mean, that's a pretty old ass joke. Like even in movies and TV, like, just like they can't open the door because like they hit
an old ass car.
They hit the unlock button at the same time they try to open it. And you think the High Evolutionary?
They didn't do that joke. They just did the button joke. Like
you would think
press the button.
You would think the High Evolutionary, who's so obsessed with having the perfect society, would have better cars than from like 1982.
You would think so, but
yeah, and someone with a little mistake
is on the road.
Yeah. So.
Guys, let's get into it. Overall, let's broad sweeping overviews. Thumbs up or thumbs down?
Best Phase 5 movie, easily.
Best Phase 5 movie.
And I like Quantumania, even though, I thought Quantumania was a passable movie, but now, Jonathan Majors is having his issues, and that movie hasn't really aged well.
How good was this guy? I can't even pronounce his name. I apologize.
The guy from Peacemaker.
Yeah, he was so good. So amazing actor.
I didn't even know
I think he nailed
of his existence before Peacemaker, but he was great. I mean, obviously, I think like his motivations and his backstory weren't really elaborated on. So he was just like sort of a dick, but I think just the way the actor delivered the lines is very good. So it could have been like a very bland performance in a less capable actor's hands. But this was a very good. I liked Ego back then. I liked Kurt Russell's Ego was really good too as a villain. But I think they were both better than like Ronan in the first movie. He was just sort of like a bland, crazy.
Ronan was.
Well, but luckily the first movie had Nebula, who was actually a much better villain, even though she wasn't. But
how good was Nebula in this movie? Nebula was fire. What's it, Killian Jones or?
Yeah, Karen Gillian.
Yeah,
I forget the girl from Doctor Who. But yeah, she's definitely the I think one of the best parts of these movies. I mean, Gamora was Zoe Saldana was also the queen of sci-fi. She's in Avatar, Star Trek. Yeah, her character was kind of a
bitch, kind of terrible. I didn't like the acting, I didn't like the writing, and I didn't like the directing. So like,
but I think that was sort of the point, though, right? That was sort of the point that it's a completely different character from the Gamora we knew in the first two movies.
So no, that I don't have a problem with that. I think so. We're gonna get into this. We're gonna get into this. I think this was some piece of shit, lazy ass writing. I have an overall thesis that all of my criticism comes across, and that is, I have been begrudgingly fired, or I've been fired and then begrudgingly rehired, right? So I know what kind of effort and what kind of work you put back in on that second go around, and I'll tell you right now, it's not fucking much, right? Like, I thought there was some real heart. I think the backstory, right, with Rocket Raccoon, amazing. If I could give an Oscar to the backstory, fucking amazing, right? But
that was only
one thing from Book of Boba Fett. It's that if the backstory is better than the main story, then you're writing the wrong fucking movie, and that's what happened here, dude. Rocket Raccoon, dude. I'm a grown ass man getting misty-eyed in the movie theater during these Rocket Raccoon scenes, and then we go back to present day. And I'm watching this lifeless garbage that, like, there's no heart, there's no emotion. There's Nathan Fillion dressed up as like a thumb. God, it's the
he's dressed like the Mifflin
ever seen in my life.
He's dressed like the Mifflin Man, actually. The Mifflin Man,
the Mufflin Man.
Do you know the Mifflin Man? The Mifflin Man. He lives on Tire Lane.
So I think James Gunn begrudgingly wrote this, right? Like, dude, he got fired for some bullshit, right? Like Disney was aware of those tweets at the beginning, and they said, "I don't care. Those aren't very funny, but those aren't necessarily offensive for 2010."
Well, I
like,
doubt
whatever.
the Disney board of directors was like looking at his tweets from like
for
10
sure.
years
But
prior.
whoever hired him was aware. Like you have an agent, you talk about this. Like when you're getting run for president, you go through, I guess.
I don't even know.
Right?
I don't even know if even agents do that. I think they just look at his resume.
Well, reportedly, or I'll say this: reportedly, Disney was already aware of the tweets. I'll say that then. I can't remember if it was the Hollywood Reporter, the Variety, whatever. I can't remember what article I read, but Disney was aware of this. And then it only became an issue when someone called about it on Twitter and it became like public knowledge, right? Then he got fired, then there was public backlash, and then there was some like blah, blah, blah. He got rehired, right? Like this was the biggest mistake Disney ever fucking made, right? Because they gave DC their number one competitor, which I'm happy about, by the way. But like from a corporate standpoint, like they fucked up. They gave DC like the best possible director they had, right? Like,
well, the Russos. The
Russos took themselves out. The Russos
Titans
retired.
I think they're going to come back. I think Feige's offered them X-Men. I think that's probably they're just going to do their own stuff for a while. I think they really want X-Men, probably more so than Avengers. But
I hope they do the Community movie. I hope they.
Can you imagine like a Russo's brothers doing like Teen Titans or even the Legion of Superheroes? Like mind-boggling. I think they're going to do X-Men. But
speaking of Endgame and the Russo brothers, what do you guys think, Robbie Forrest? What do you guys think? Was this the best Marvel movie since Endgame?
I didn't even like Endgame that much. It was definitely the best one since. Definitely the best one since No Way Home.
Since No Way Home, it's definitely been like the best one in a long time.
Yeah, because
I think it was definitely refreshing over the Phase 4 lackluster performances on Disney Plus.
Yeah, that's what I was just about to say. I was just thinking
the runtime.
All the TV shows were.
Oh yeah, this movie was.
This movie was too long.
It was like half an hour too long, and just to hit that point home, the first Guardians movie was actually half an hour shorter than this one. So just because and that was like the best one. So it's really just goes to show, like you don't need the extra, because you remember that entire heist sequence where they go into like the Among Us scene, and then they find out like what they go in there for is like someone else's head who's on Counter Earth. So that entire sequence. First act was like completely pointless.
Or when they land on Counter Earth and there's like they interact with all the alien animal aliens or whatever. Like that was a good scene. Don't get me wrong, but you could have they land somewhere else. You could have cut 10 minutes out of this movie.
Well, at least the Counter Earth, at least High Evolutionary Counter Earth were like from the comics. So at least that was adapted. Pretty faithfully.
I think this is kind of lazy though. And this is my personal opinion, and I suck ass. Like, please remember, I love The Rise of Skywalker. So, off the bat, my opinion is completely null and void. Now, for those who haven't listened to the podcast in the past, I love The Rise of Skywalker because it got my wife into Star Wars, and that's the only thing that matters. Now, like on May 4th.
But at what cost, Major? At what cost?
At what cost? Not the Last Jedi, that's for sure. But like, dude, on May 4th, my wife came home from work and she said, "Hey, what Star Wars movie do you want to watch tonight?" And god damn it, that was because of The Rise of Skywalker. And that is beautiful. So I am grateful for that clusterfuck of a movie.
Yeah, but I guess how about we just like break down this movie by like beat for beat,
let's break down this movie. Let's go.
So I guess the intro was just obviously Rocket's origin with him being taken out of the cage, and then the intro scene with Rocket singing Radiohead, which was a bit drawn out. And
are you talking about Creep?
Talking about the intro.
Yeah, the worst movie from the 90s. Dude, I'm so tired of hearing Radiohead Creep. It's not that great of a song. The guy's a creep. And like, if you're like, Major, that's a great song. No, fuck you. Listen, there's an interview where the lead singer of Radiohead talks about how he thought that song was trash. Like he thought
like everyone likes,
and they are trash.
Everyone likes Karma Police anyway. Is a better song by them anyway. If I had to choose the best Radiohead song.
But instantly, what took me out of this movie, like the first like bad taste in my mouth, was that transition from Baby Raccoon to Rocket Raccoon.
Yeah.
Like Baby Raccoon, that was like you're watching a YouTube video and you go from 480p to 1080p. Like you click that resolution upgrade. Like, like I'm not a CGI guy, but I would bet. I mean, not my farm, but I bet like your neighbor's farm, right? That was two different CGI teams because the baby raccoon CGI, like the hairs were like they were thick as shit, and then it just awkwardly transitions to Rocket Raccoon, and then you go from 480p to high definition, and you can see every hair on his body now, and it was just so jarring, and it's just so awkward after Marvel has received such negative feedback in these last 3 months about their CGI, and then they were like, fuck it, we're still gonna have this jarring ass transition. We don't care.
Yeah, sorry, She-Hulk. Rocket was definitely. I give him more money to be blossom to life. So it's interesting that it moved from the Radiohead scene, and it goes to Rocket talking. He finds Quill, and he's like drunk, and he's sad about Gamora and stuff, and then
So can I mention this? Or I'm gonna touch on this now. I'll bring this up later. When I talk about bad writing, one of the parts I don't like when I mention bad or lazy writing is this part with Peter Quill. Peter Quill, we meet Peter Quill, and he is belligerently drunk, right? And I'm not casting judgment, right? Dude, the man fell in love with Gamora. He lost the love of his life. He got the love of his life back,
killed half the universe,
and she doesn't remember or like him. That's even like almost more painful than not getting her back at all, right? So like I love like that this is how he's handling it, right? You had Fat Thor, this is drunk Star-Lord. I'm totally in fine. Like,
still in great shape though.
Still in great shape, right? Yeah. I mean,
the cover of Men's
Health. But the rest
shape.
of it, the rest of the writing was terrible. Like, so this man is like cannot handle the thought of this woman being alive and not with him. And he's blackout drinking, like I would imagine every night, but at least on this night, right? When we were opening the movie. And then later on, he's in her presence and he's just like not completely losing his mind the entire time. There's like a little bit of writing. We're like, oh, this is hard because I used to love you, but you don't love me. But like that's not real heartbreak. That wasn't real writing. That was like a Chat GPT prompt. Like, Chat GPT, please write me some dialogue about insert what I just said there, right? Like there was no heart. There was no real pain, real struggle. Like, dude, if you're drinking so much, you're blacking out. You can't even walk. Like your friends have to fucking pick you up and carry you to your bed.
Oh yeah,
over this girl.
That was the intro scene, yeah, or the
that was the intro scene, exactly.
Yeah.
And then later on, you're just like, oh, I'm just hanging out with this girl in the elevator, and I'm bitching about like how like she died, she came back to life, and like that was like one of the best scenes in the movie, which was ruined by the trailer. God dang it.
Yeah.
But like that's what I'm saying. Like, dude, that's not the same person. You don't go from blackout drunk to being able to make a joke about it, make quips in an elevator. That's not the same thing.
How about his summary of like the whole Marvel series from his point of view?
What do you mean? Who's?
Oh, in the elevator with Chris Pratt when he summed up like the whole history of.
Dude, the best parts of this movie were in the trailer, and it breaks my heart.
Yeah, they did ruin some good jokes.
Yeah,
I didn't remember the trailers.
The elevator scene was so good, and we'll talk about it when we go down.
Well, yeah, it's just funny. Like, the thing that bothered me, but I didn't remember from the previous films was when Nebula got her Sentinel arm.
Oh, so that happened off screen.
Yeah, okay. So I didn't remember that at all. So I was like, where did that get? It looks like one of the Sentinel arms from X-Men Days of Future Past.
It does. It's very,
so
very
I was wondering,
like some nanotechnology.
Is there some crossover there?
The best theory I've seen online. Ooh, crossover? That I haven't seen online, and I'm gonna go tweet at everyone.
Because when they remake the X-Men, they gotta remake the Sentinels too, and actually make them giant. But
the working theory online is that in the Guardians of the Galaxy holiday special, Nakamura, her sister Nebula, gave Rocket Raccoon Bucky's arm, and so
that was how she
in return, Rocket Raccoon made her this arm. That's the going theory online.
Oh, okay. Wow. It just made me think of Days of Future Past, but yeah.
I saw a behind the scenes thing of when they were carrying Quill
Yeah.
Yeah.
That was actually a very accurate doll of him that weighed about 35 pounds.
Oh, really?
What?
Wow.
You couldn't even tell. Yeah,
No.
and Chris Pratt was talking about that it was so creepy that he kept that doll sitting in the corner of his office.
And his wife fucks it now. No.
Yeah, I'm just saying it's definitely a sex doll now.
Because even he commented like how accurate it was.
I mean, they can save a few. I mean, I think what I really like about this series, about at least the three Guardians films, that they use a lot of practical effects for aliens and other like sets and stuff. So I like that they just saved a few money on CGI and decided an actual like dolls to like making that like a CGI effect. Probably saved like $500.
What did you think about Groot?
Yeah, Groot was just sort of in this movie. He didn't really have an arc at all. He was just he got a little big at the very end, you know, in the post-credit scene
Alpha
or whatever.
Groot, I think that's what the internet's calling him, Alpha Groot.
Like I guess the Magnolia Tree Groot, or I don't know what he looked more maybe like Sycamore Tree.
I did not like him at all. Like so,
I didn't have a personality. He was just there.
The acting was great, but like, no, I didn't like physically. I didn't like the CGI. Like he looked very.
I wanted the Groot back from Guardians 1. I like that Groot design the best.
Like exactly, dude. Like this new Groot like has taken like Trin and all these other TikTok steroids I've been hearing about. Like it's not great. And then like, what's the continuity? When I talk about bad writing, it's like little thing after little thing. So like in Guardians of the Galaxy 1, like Groot, like, you know, like loses his body or whatever, and it takes him 2.5 freaking movies to grow it back.
Yeah.
Right. And the opening scene, we have Adam Warlock, which we're gonna, or not the opening scene. We'll talk about Adam Warlock in a second here.
Yeah.
But Groot loses his body. Right. His head gets ripped off. He loses his body. He's a weird little head with 4 little tentacles, like that guy from like Toy Story. It was creepy as shit. But then like 2 scenes later, he's fully healed. So I don't understand. Like it takes Groot 2 movies to grow his body, and this movie takes him 2 scenes to grow his body back. Like,
yeah.
What is that terrible fucking writing? Unless I'm an idiot and I'm missing the continuity.
Yeah. Well, let's get into Adam Warlock because
let's get into Adam Warlock. Even better.
What's what was the song that was playing?
I hate his face. I like the actor, but I'm gonna go ahead and say it. Spray painted in gold. I hate that guy's fucking face.
Well, what was the song that was playing when he was like flying like towards the? He's kind of like just awkwardly flying towards the space station slowly.
I don't remember.
Was it Cosmic?
All
was it
over
David
the
Bowie?
place.
Yeah, I definitely was really memorable. I can't remember like a single song except Radiohead. Honestly, yeah, that's about it for me. Also, yeah, Sylvester Stallone was in this movie for like a second.
Let's
go back to Adam Warlock. Yeah, Adam Warlock
is
is a major Marvel character, and it's just very, very strange they introduced him in the MCU after Thanos is dead, because like in the comics, like he and Thanos are like each other's archenemy, and like there's like literally like a comic called Warlock and the Infinity Watch, where he's like basically the entire comic's about him trying to keep the Infinity Stones away from Thanos. And he's the wielder of the gauntlet too, I think.
Yeah, and he separates. Yeah, he gets the gauntlet, and he separates the gauntlet, and he disperses the gems to 5 different superheroes. Yeah, he's a big deal in the Infinity Wars.
And
right?
now that the whole entire saga is over, now they introduce him. And also notice he has a freaking jewel in his head. But it's not explaining what that is because it's supposed to be the Soul Gem.
It's supposed to be, but it's not. Yeah. So I don't blame James Gunn for this. I am gonna give him a lot of shit. I'm gonna talk a lot of shit about the writing here, but like this isn't necessarily his fault. Like this movie was delayed because he was fired, right? And then it got delayed again because of COVID. Yeah. This should have came out in like 2019, like before Endgame, right? So things should have been completely different. When I think about Endgame, you know, in the scene where all the Hope Is Lost Part 2, when Carol Danvers comes in and she flies through the ship and like breaks all that shit up. I wonder if that wasn't originally supposed to be like Adam Warlock. Like that would have been so cool. Right? And I can tell you the incels online would have enjoyed that a lot more too. Versus another Captain Marvel cutscene.
Oh yeah, well remember the only Marvel movie we have left this year is the Marvels. So like, you know, we better get excited for that.
Oh, I'm so excited. I'm so pumped. Woo!
Well, we are getting like Secret Invasion. I don't even know if we're getting Loki season 2 because it has Jonathan Majors in it. Like he has a pretty big role in that one, and I think they're about to get ready to recast him.
You think so?
I think so. I think that's been the rumors online. They're gonna recast him. It's just like he's just too tainted.
So, what about you, Robbie? Are you looking forward to the Secret Invasion of the Will Culture, or is that just Marvel Phase 4 for you?
Well, we don't know what Secret Invasion is going to be like. We'll see. I mean, it's going to be like a Nick Fury-led episode, so...
Yeah, we'll see. Hey, speaking of Nick Fury, did you guys know Samuel L. Jackson is the highest grossing paid actor of all time?
What?
Doesn't surprise me. He's like in everything.
Of all time!
More so than, like, in terms of, like... The
Everyone, dude. He's the highest... Dude. I'm so happy for him.
Isn't like Jerry Seinfeld?
There's some motherfucking money in this motherfucking bank account. That's all I gotta say.
Well, I think Jerry Seinfeld's the highest paid actor of all time, like in terms of just like money. But I feel like in terms of like number of movies that have grossed the most.
Are you talking about like Jerry Seinfeld, like paid per minute or like paid per episode?
Per episode, yeah. I mean, I guess like
this is like wealth accumulated through Hollywood.
The movies. I'm sure like the movies he's been in, like because it was Star Wars, Avengers. What was another franchise he was in? I'm surprised he hasn't been in any Fast and Furious. I'm surprised he hasn't been in any Fast and Furious movies. He was in the first Jurassic Park. I read that, so that was a pretty big movie.
Wait a second. All right, now I'm looking at Wikipedia. Oh, this is weird. All right, anyway, looking at Wikipedia, highest grossing. Oh, this is box office gross, right?
Yeah, box office, not like.
Never mind. All right, so Scarlett Johansson's box office #1, Robert Downey Jr. is #2, Samuel L. Jackson #3, Zoe Saldana #4, Chris Pratt, Chris Hemsworth, and then Tom Cruise is #7. Chris Evans is #8. Dude, so like 1, 2.
Most of those like all
3,
Marvel
4,
movies,
5,
except
6,
Tom
7.
Cruise.
Yeah, so like 7 of them. Yeah. What the
actual
fuck?
Back when Marvel ruled Hollywood. Well, I mean,
if you want to look at
I think that.
Scarlett Downey Jr. Scarlett Johansson, 33 films. Samuel L. Jackson, 64 films. So that's where that extra money comes in.
Also, one of the things I did like about this movie is that it was so insulated from the rest of the MCU. Like the first, like I mean, I think the first two were also felt the same way. Like just no reference, not a single Avengers reference. I don't think.
No Pretty Thor, sure. No Fat Thor reference.
No Thor. Thor wasn't in it.
You know, it was in the contract. You think James Gunn was like specifically like, I want to write the script I want to write, and I don't want it to have to do with anything.
That's what the first one was so great. It said nothing to do with like what was going on with the Avengers. Yeah. So, but yeah, that's definitely another, I guess, thumbs up or great thing about this movie. But yeah.
Adam Warlock, spray painted gold. Did you like his baby face?
Yeah, I mean, I guess because I've gotten used to that race of people, and I don't know them in the comics, so I only know the version of them.
Yeah, okay, that's good. What about you, Forrest? You're a little more familiar with him in the comics, right?
Well, like I said, it just seems like it's sort of like making a Black Widow movie after her character already is dead. It just sort of seems just like.
Oh no, I'm fine with that. I feel like they could feel free. Like, look, mistakes were made. They fucked up. They fired James Gunn, right? COVID happened. Like, there are some things like writers can't change, the movie can't change. So you just gotta work with what you can, right? But like, it would be a shame if at the end of the day, the MCU never had Adam Warlock. So they introduced him when they could introduce him. It sucks like how they had to introduce him.
Yeah. But actually, I want to back a little bit because I think for people who don't know, the Guardians of the Galaxy, at least the incarnation this franchise is based off, Adam Warlock was a founding member.
If you guys don't know the founding squad of Guardians of the Galaxy, I'd recommend sticking around for the post-credits scene because you'll see the original lineup. Good writing. Good writing.
Well, no.
No? Is that not?
No, well, it had a girl called who's a Phyla Vell, who's like another founding member, but the founding members of the 2008 team.
Well, that's the girl with the eye. That's the girl with the eye. That's what they're calling her, Phyla Vell.
Yeah, the 2008 incarnation that this whole franchise based off was
the new one.
Yeah, Star-Lord. The original from the 60s is like yeah,
that's not it at all.
It's like Sylvester Stallone's character, even though it's like. Is like Charlie 7, the Diamond Guy. Yondu was a founding member of the original Guardians team.
Charlie's 27.
Yeah,
Astro,
Martinex, I think.
Tenega,
and then
dude, what a memory.
Captain Victory.
Hey, can we get some W's in the chat for fucking Forrest with the memory over here? That's awesome, dude.
Well, I think they released a series with the original Guardians. After this movie came out, it's like, hey, you want to know about the original Guardians? And it didn't last too long, but yeah.
You know who the cover art's by?
What was that?
You know who the cover art's by?
Who?
Gene Colan and Mike Esposito. Which, if you read real fast, it sounds like Giancarlo Esposito.
Who's that?
Giancarlo. He's the big bad guy in all the recent movies or TV shows we've been watching.
Giancarlo. Oh yeah,
Giancarlo Esposito. Yeah, exactly. Okay. Right. It's just Gene Colan and Mike Esposito, and it's Giancarlo Esposito.
Yeah, with Stan Edgar. Well, he wasn't really the bad guy in The Boys, but I guess he sort of is. Maybe Stan Edgar, Emperor Zurg, and Gus Fring. So yeah, he's just having he had like a great year last year, just like through the best shows in television. Yeah, well, back when Mandalorian was good,
except for the Mandalorian.
Yeah, I mean, but like 2019 though, Better Call Saul, The Boys,
right? Amazing,
and Mandalorian. Yeah, he was in like the top 3 shows of that year.
He's the go-to bad guy, right? Like move over British white men who are evil, like Jean-Claude.
But now we just need like half Italian, half Black Americans are the way to go. Adam Warlock injured Rocket, and that's the inciting incident.
Did you say half Black, half Italian?
Yeah, he is half Black, half Italian. That's his race. Because remember, like in Breaking Bad, he's like looking for guys like for a black man with glasses.
I think it's just called full Sicilian.
No, he literally is half African American, half Italian. That's his.
Oh, okay. This is actual.
This is actual. Yeah, his hair.
Oh, okay.
He's not Hispanic at all. So, which is interesting because he was also the bad guy in Far Cry. He was also a Hispanic character, but it's just like Hollywood's just like, hey, like the white producers.
Should we cast him as a good guy at some point in Hollywood?
No.
Maybe that's what the writer's strike is about.
You gotta understand, Hollywood used to cast Jewish actors as Native Americans, so they're perfectly fine with casting Italians.
Wasn't Marlon Brando a Native American at one point?
Oh, I don't know. Well, Johnny Depp thinks he's Native American, even though he's from Kentucky.
Look, I can't because I don't want to defend Johnny Depp and all that bullshit or whatever. But dude, I will die on the hill that is Robert Downey Jr. in Tropic Thunder.
Or how about John Wayne as Genghis Khan? Will you stand by that?
No, I won't stand by that at all. No, because that's true blackface. That's terrible. Like what Robert Downey Jr. in Tropic Thunder and what Ben Stiller was doing is.
What about Rob Schneider in I Now Pronounce You Chuck and Larry? That's like supposed to be like a pro gay movie, and they have Rob Schneider in yellowface.
I can't condone anything Rob Schneider does. I do not. He does not strike me the right way.
You've seen Rob Schneider as an animal, and you've seen him as a hot chick. Now this summer, see Rob Schneider as a carrot, and he's about to find out that being a carrot ain't all it's cut out to be. Rob Schneider, Rob Schneider in The Carrot. That's South Park.
Is that a segue for Carrot Face?
It's like Taser Face.
Yeah, but in Guardians of the Galaxy, there's a guy.
Oh no, that was the girl who played Ratcatcher was in Carrot Face. Because remember, because I think what I really like about this movie was it
was in Carrot Face.
It really showed Peter Quill like his strength, because he's not like the strongest guy on the team.
No,
he's not like the smartest guy on the team, but he is good at
he's
seducing women. Yes,
yeah, he can seduce the ladies.
And he used that and I love that he was just like, maybe he is. He was just like
James Gunn is 56 and his wife is 36.
How does a multi-millionaire, famous Hollywood director get women who are attracted to marry him? I don't know how it works.
Maybe you cast her in everything you fucking write and direct.
Well, only three things so far.
He's only been married to her since 2022.
How long
many things do you write and in a year and a half.
Suicide Squad, Peacemaker, and Guardians 3. So,
and Guardians 3.
I'm guessing.
Look, I'm having fun. I'm giving her shit. All right. There's not a way in hell if I was a Hollywood director and I'm married to a Hollywood actress that I'm not gonna write her in. Like, dude, I'm trying to get I'm trying to have a good life. Happy wife, happy life. There's no way I'm not writing her in here. But that being said, like, I'm still gonna have some fun on this podcast. We're gonna do shit for it.
Well, he cast his brother and all this stuff. His brother's been in his movie since like the specials.
Well, it just sounds like he's a good man.
Did you ever see the specials with Rob Lowe and Thomas Hayden Church, I think? Who else was in that movie? It's like basically like it was like not a documentary, but like it actually sort of was like a mockumentary about the superhero team, who's like the seventh most popular superhero team in America, and it's just like basically like a day in their lives.
Justice League.
And like the leader, like Rob Lowe's character is like a character called the Weevil, and he's having sex with the leader's wife, and he joins like a more popular superhero team. And it's like basically like all the other team members like get drunk, but I think his brother Sean Gunn like plays like a character who was like an alien blob who became a human. It's really weird. So I think it's like nepotism in Hollywood is like it's like one of those things that like it still happens. Like no one does any like the Mandalorian, that kid who was like reciting the oath, who was just awful. He was like some producer's son, right?
Go back to the podcast to get the actual stats. But yeah, he was connected to Hollywood. He was someone's son for sure.
And most actors are like Gwyneth Paltrow. Her mother was an actress, and the David Carradine and Keith Carradine. Their dad was an actor.
I hate to tell you this, but like a lot of Wall Street bankers, their parents were Wall Street bankers. A lot of like people who own construction companies, their parents own construction companies. There's a bunch of nepo babies out there. And in 2023, you just gotta do your own damn research. You just gotta find out if the people you're trying to employ, like, if you're trying to hire the service out, whether it's an actor or a contractor or whatever, are they fucking good at their job, or are their parents rich, or their parents good at the job and they're just coasting through here? Because I'll say, as a millennial, dude, not great, not on average, not great work output, I would say.
Yeah. So after Rocket gets his injury and they have to go hire the Ravagers to get to that facility.
What was that with that injury? He got injured. They put a strap pack on. Dude, that thing happened so fast and it was so confusing. It's like Rocket's injured, but he's still alive.
Those med packs.
We put a health pack on him, but it's actually hurting him. And now we know that he has something wrong with his heart. He's got 48 hours to live unless we type in this key. Where are you gonna type this key? Like, dude, bad writing, bad writing, bad dog.
Major plot device. So
yes. Which, by the way, the Cosmo bad dog thing, one of the best parts of the movie, right?
No, that was one of the worst parts. Like her whole thing with her and Kraglin
trying to be a good dog.
No,
do you own a dog?
That joke didn't work.
Force, you own a dog?
I mean, I've grown up with dogs all my life, and trust me, I know how they think. But yeah, I don't know. That joke was just like it was like the Taserface joke in Volume 2. They just kept pushing it, and it didn't work. But
all right, I'll say this: like it was like I didn't like that joke 2/3 of the way of the movie. I'll agree with that. And then the last third, like
when they brought it back up, it was
when she got called a good dog. I was like, oh no, this is a good bit. This is a good bit. Good bit.
Oh
good
yeah,
bit. But at first
that was nice how they put it.
Yeah, the third time they brought it up, and he was like, "No, that's a bad dog. I'm not saying that's a good dog. It's a bad dog." I was like, "This is bad writing." But then they rewarded it, and I was like, "Oh, good writing, good dog."
I guess we're already in Act 3, but I just want to skip over like the whole heist sequence. I mean, obviously we talked about like him like trying to seduce that one chick, and like he's really
I gotta talk about how dumb the heist. Dude,
I'm not that Nathan. I just wanted access.
Nathan Fillion,
fucking awful, dude. I'm so heartbroken.
You know,
he's
like
amazing.
James Gunn.
He's such a great writer. He's such a great actor, and he could have been so much fun in this movie, and they fucking just ruined him in that fucking.
Well, apparently there was like
of a suit.
There was an Easter egg of him, I think, in like Volume 2, where he's playing like Simon Williams, who is
he's like some blue guy, yeah.
No, he's Wonder Man in the comics, and I think like James Gunn like sort of envisioned him as like the Wonder Man. But now they cast the guy who played Black Manta as Wonder Man. So like James Gunn's like, well, how about you just play like a security guard in this movie, because you're not going to play Wonder Man apparently. We're just gonna forget that ever happened. that Easter egg there. So, but I was like, okay, he's James Gunn's friend, and he had a pretty significant part in this first act. But yeah, there was a what do you call it? A tease, not a tease, but a psych out with Drax being killed, right? Did y'all think Drax was going to die when he got shot in the chest during the heist scene?
Oh,
it's pretty dramatic.
But I had a feeling that it wasn't.
I was like, oh my god. I think I was like, oh my god, they're gonna kill Drax in this scene.
I did cross my mind, but I felt like they were.
I 100% thought they were. This might be the only good writing in this whole damn movie. I 100% thought they were gonna kill Drax because Dave Bautista, the actor who plays Drax, has been very vocal online, aka Twitter.
Oh, that he's done.
No, he wants to play Bane. He wants to play Bane.
And he's not doing Guardians with it. He said way back when James Gunn got fired. He said, I'm not doing Guardians without Gunn, or I'll do I'll do whatever I'm contractually obligated to do, but I want Dave Bautista stood beside James Gunn the entire time, right? So with James Gunn leaving, I thought Dave was gonna get killed too. I thought it was gonna be beautiful. It was good little fake out. Star Wars could take some notes.
Well, there wasn't a fake out with Han Solo.
No, sorry. I was thinking about Chewie, specifically the ninth episode.
Oh, I completely forgot about that crappy movie and anything that happened in it. So
for the best.
Or a fake out with apparently George Lucas's brilliant fake out with Palpatine dying in Return of the Jedi. Ooh, you got me there.
Brilliant, yeah.
You got me there, Lucas.
You only had to wait 30 fucking years to see that plot twist come to fruition.
What to see that plot twist become complete? Because he says complete.
Something bad writing. Hey guys, while we talk about bad writing, let's tangent just for half a second. What do you guys think about this writer's strike? One, so I would tell you my thoughts. It seems like the writers' conditions are inhumane, right? It seems like they're minimum wage, like they need to be paid better.
Well, let's remember, Mage, that it was pretty inhumane to make us sit through She-Hulk.
Yes, that's what I was gonna say.
And Jessica Biel wants more money now.
Yeah, I was gonna say, like part 2.
The Rings of Power writers want more money now.
Yeah, this is a podcast.
The Velma writers want more money now.
This is a podcast, so I'm going to be irreverent. I'm not going to fucking take people's emotions, feelings, or financial hardship in consideration.
The Obi-Wan Kenobi writers want more money.
Los Angeles, California is probably one of the most expensive states to live in, Los Angeles area.
Let them work remotely. Have them move.
That being said,
Colorado,
the fuck? Are you kidding me? Should She-Hulk writers be? Sorry, Forrest took all my punchlines while I was trying to set up the show.
Book of Boba Fett.
Terrible, right? She-Hulk bad. These writers
Willow
are they're worried. I listened to a podcast today and they were like, the writers should be worried about ChatGPT because it's not very creative. And I was thinking, neither are the goddamn writers in the Hollywood. Right? Dude, I think it's the balls to this fucking dude to put out the Rings of Power season 1 and then be like, no, let's go on strike. We writers can write. We're on top of this shit. No, dude. I as a capitalist, as a free marketeer, as a human being, as an American, as a middle class citizen, I feel for them. I really fucking do. But as someone who has watched the fucking garbage they have put out over the last 2 or 3 years, get the fuck out of here. The writing has been so fucking bad, and
the Fast and the Furious writers wants more
across the board. The only fucking movie I can think about, dude, Top Gun Maverick. I just watched this with my wife. So I watched Top Gun Maverick the day before I watched Guardians of the Galaxy. So maybe Guardians of the Galaxy has some stiff competition because Top Gun Maverick was one of the most fun movies I ever had in my entire life, dude. I don't know who the enemy was. I don't know who the bad guy was. I don't know what the fuck. Dude, I just had fun. I watched that movie. I pressed play with my wife, and the whole fucking time we enjoyed the damn movie. It was so good. I didn't like Tom Cruise as a person or whatever, but put Tom Cruise in the Mission Impossible movie. Put Tom Cruise in Top Gun Maverick. Put Tom Cruise in the movie. He's a phenomenal actor, and you can enjoy that. Right? That's writing. And I'm just wondering, like, what the fuck is going on with, like, Disney? Or, I'm sorry, does Disney not have enough money to fucking pay writers? Like hire the guys who wrote Top Gun Maverick, right? Like, why are we watching just fucking awful movies after awful movies over and over and over again, right?
Hey,
Everyone
but Major, we had the Marvels to look forward to.
Fuck off. I mean, like, I say
dude,
that.
First
but,
of
all, I'm also looking forward to it because it's something different, right? Like, who's the big bad in the Marvels? I don't even know.
It's funny. It's actually Tom Hiddleston's wife. We're talking about nepotism.
No way.
Tom
really?
Hiddleston's wife is playing. I mean, she's like an actual like accomplished actress, I guess. But I'm just like, I mean, maybe he had a little something to do with her getting hired. You know, I mean, maybe she has her own representation. Maybe he put in a good word to Feige, but
it's not what you know, it's who you know. That's
basically she's like the female Ronan. She has Ronan's hammer, I guess. So, but anyway, so back to Guardians. Let's skip over the whole awful high sequence. They go to counter.
I'll talk about that writing. The membranes, so fucking stupid. Like, I think it was Antenna Lady. Mantis.
Mantis
right?
area.
She was talking about. She's like, oh, there's the vault. You know, the place we have to infiltrate has these impossible to penetrate membranes because it's like a living organism. And then it just cuts to like Peter Quill, just like going through like putting his little SanDisk micro SanDisk card reader into the little slot, pulling out, putting his cell phone, taking it out, putting in the next one, and he's just going through the membranes. And it's like, why say that they're impossible to penetrate if it's so easy to penetrate? He's like, oh, not a big deal. I'm a professional thief. I can steal my way through anything. And it's just dumb. It's just shitty writing. And then it cuts to Nathan Fillion wearing some foreskin, and it's just stupid. It's just fucking stupid. It's stupid.
Do you think that's like a subtext against the Jewish, the Jews running Hollywood? Just having.
All right, Kanye, calm down. No, I don't think James Gunn was trying to kill the foreskin of Hollywood.
May the foreskin be with you.
May the foreskin be with you. Yo.
So anyway, so they're getting counter Earth, and they meet all the animal people.
Bad writing. I hate to sound like a broken record, but bad writing all around. Bad writing, dude.
But that was from the comics, though.
Counter Earth is full of a planet full of these animal people, right? And you're gonna just. Side note, you have a character named Adam Warlock based on Adam, cut off from the Bible. Dude, why is this not a Noah story? Why didn't he flood to kill his people? The High Evolutionary. Right? Like, this is bad writing. Like, there was a great flood story, and you can say, like, maybe he's not Christian or whatever, but there's a flood story in literally every major society, right? Every major ancient society, there's a flood story. So why didn't he just write a flood story into this? Because that's a part of shaping society. He's trying to create this perfect society, right? There's a flood story involved in every society in our past. Why isn't it? It's shitty writing. That's all it is. And I'm not blaming him, right? Dude, if Disney Marvel fired me and then rehired me fucking 4 years later or whatever, I would pass in some shit too. Except for the Rocket Raccoon scenes, like the flashbacks. You could tell he actually gave a shit about that. He cared about the Rocket Raccoon story, and that's why it was written so much better than the rest of it. Yeah, the flashbacks were so much better than the rest of the movie.
Yeah, but there's only 10 minutes.
The rest was kind of like the comedy.
If only there was like if he released a short film just with the flashbacks with Rocket and his friends, that could be nominated for an Oscar.
Like a Hollywood special? You mean like instead of doing some kind of dumb Hollywood special, they kidnap Kevin Bacon? They created this amazing movie.
That's what they should have done.
Rocket Raccoon? Yeah. Dude, Marvel, you're fucking making spinoffs off of fucking everything in the world. Dude, you're making spinoffs of a shit no one wants. I'll tell you what right now, the only spinoff I've won in the last 4 years I can think of is a spinoff of Rocket Raccoon, Lila, Floor, and Teeth, right? Like, that would have been awesome. Why did you kill those 4 fucking characters? that would have been so cool. Give it to like Taika Waititi, give it to like some kind of indie director, right? Make it a 30-minute or 45-minute special on Disney Plus, and have like the adventures of Rocket Raccoon and the gang, right? And like, keep them alive. And they all escape from the High Evolutionary, like an hour long or 2 hour long, like a fun special of them, like, doing animal shit and like solving crimes and shit. Maybe they meet Squirrel Girl, right? Like, dude, it wasn't that hard, but they just killed them off, just killed everyone off but Rocket Raccoon. So ironically, the only spinoff I actually care to see is never going to happen.
Well, I think we need to bring up, because we're like over an hour here, we're going to bring up the High Evolutionary, who I think the acting was good, but he had a very generic superpower. Just random telekinesis.
What was that superpower? The purple stone, which was already
the power of purple,
destroyed. Yeah.
Well, the thing was, like, High Evolutionary's costume in the comics is like red. So like, why they even make him purple? It just seemed a bit strange, but I thought the showdown with the High Evolutionary was kind of underwhelming. Although, like, all the Guardians got in and got a hit on him.
Yeah.
But it just seemed like Rocket just had this gadget in his head that just like powered off his suit. It seemed. But I thought the acting was good, and I liked how it brought back, like, we didn't like, why would the back of his head be fucked up? Because he scratched his face. They took the mask off, like, oh, his face is gone.
Yeah. So I thought that was one of the best writing, directing, producing, like one of the best overall moments of the film, because it set up so well. There's special movies. There's special moments in these special movies where you, as the audience member, discover the twist for yourself, like a moment, like 30 seconds before the actor does on screen. Like, you get that self gratification of it, right? Like, that's what happened here. Like, because like there's like a flashback of his regular face, and you see his normal face, and you're like, wait, I recognize, like, the faces were different, and I started to question, like, what's going on here? Like, why is this guy's face look different? And
my first thought was the back of his head was like all mechanical now.
Yeah,
I didn't think about the front being a total mask. I was thinking you just modified.
Ford has a good point. Why is the back of his head mechanical when it was only cosmetic damage?
Well, it's because he can control gravity with his mind.
So not using a stone, but just using some kind of technology, maybe.
Yeah, he's using some kind of tech throughout his whole body that he can just move stuff.
Yeah. Well, I think like his superpower is pretty generic, and I guess he was.
I wouldn't say that's bad writing.
He seemed more powerful than Kang.
Yes.
Kang had the exact same sort of power, just like random telekinesis.
Yeah, and
he didn't have the laser beams.
Yeah.
Or the blue filter on his face.
I thought the acting was better too.
Apparently that was part of his.
Well, apparently there's a campaign to get the actor to replace Kang. For the MCU, because like, well, Jonathan Majors can't do it anymore.
So I don't like that continuity wise. Like, I would say, like, casting wise, they should have made it.
But he's a variant. I mean, if Star-Lord can be T'Challa.
I feel like if you call him a variant, I'd have to call you racist. But we're just having fun here.
Well, hey, remember Matrix Revolutions when they recast the Oracle? It was like, let's get another old black lady.
Or when they recast fucking Iron Man.
War Machine.
Yeah. Terrence Howard or whatever.
Yeah, it's like,
God, dude, what a terrible fucker. Who's not Bob Iger? Who?
Ike Perlmutter, I think, was.
Ike Perlmutter, who was like, he said like, oh, let's go ahead and replace them. They won't realize like all black people look the same. Let's go ahead and replace them. All black people look the same. Terrible quote. I can't believe we got that one.
Yeah. And yet he stayed employed there for like 10 more years after that. So it's just crazy. Or 13. So, but yeah, I think the ending was definitely drawn out. I mean, we had all the kids be saved. Well, we have to like get into like what everyone's complaining about the internet is like, why didn't Star-Lord have his helmet on with him? And James Gunn's explanation is, oh, he left it in his sock drawer in nowhere. That's his actual explanation on Twitter.
I can see it.
I think it might just be like Chris Pratt's representation just want to have like the maximum amount of face time in this movie.
I think James Gunn would have been a boss to have been like, you know what? Because so many fucking TV shows and movies are out right now are just all main characters with helmets on. So I said no helmets for this one.
Well, yeah, Mandalorian. I guess like we get enough of that. Disney was like, you get enough of that shit with Mandalorian. We'll
exactly, yeah.
You never got to see Pedro Pascal's face in season 3, so you're going to see all of Chris Pratt's face.
Hey, and congrats to Chris Pratt, right?
Married,
the number 1 movie over the box office over the weekend in box office, overtaking Mario, which he also started. Right, so his number 1 movie overtook his number 2 movie. So he holds both spots, top 1 and 2 right now. Good for him.
He's found a better franchise than Jurassic World after this one. And I guess they'll make another Mario movie. I'm guessing, but
it says that Star-Lord will return. What do you think about that? You guys stick around for this awful post-credit scene?
He's talking to his grandpa.
Listen to him eat cereal some more.
My bladder hurts so bad. 10 minutes I fucking waited for that. No reason.
You probably could have gone during the credits and come back before the credits been over.
So I actually went to the bathroom when they landed on Counter Earth and all the animals were speaking not English. I looked over at my wife and I was like, oh, there's no dialogue here. So I just fucking left and went to the bathroom. And then I came back and I was like, oh, I missed the couch scene with Drax trying to get on the couch and whatever.
Trying to make out on the couch?
No, trying to get on the couch.
Trying to get it on the couch?
No, trying to get. He was like laying down on the couch.
He's trying to get laid on the couch?
Yeah, that's it. You can hear me. I know my mic's fine.
So I think I trying to make out. But yeah, just so much stuff in this movie to talk about. But High Evolutionary got killed. Did
he die?
Oh yeah, it's true. It was very vague. Maybe they'll bring him back. He's like, I'm not going to kill you. Maybe they'll bring him back.
I'm sure they leave those open on purpose.
We'll give you a very big
for sure.
They're going to make
Red Skull.
He never even came back. I mean,
that's what I'm saying. He died. He quote unquote died or vanished in a sky beam in Captain America 1, and then came back 12. In Infinity War,
maybe they'll bring him back in his actual red costume, and they'll have him be the creator of Scarlet Witch and Quicksilver, like in the retcon in the comic.
Do you want Red Skull without Captain America, or are you also asking for the return of Captain America?
I'm talking about High Evolutionary.
Oh, I thought you were talking about Red Skull. Never mind.
No, he has a red costume in the comics.
Oh,
and if they bring him back, he can wear a red costume. He's definitely one of the big Marvel villains, big Avengers villains in the comics.
Hey guys, did you know that Star Citizen Alpha 3.19 is coming out? Robbie just tweeted about it. On the
shameless plug. Hope we get that's our ad.
While I'm on Star Citizen right now.
Yeah, while he's playing Star. I was wondering why you were extra quiet this episode.
Oh, you are multitasking, or really just one tasking and ignoring the other task.
Rob's doing a big event right now.
I'm really glad you're engaged with the podcast.
Well, it wasn't really a big event. It was just.
Well, hey, shut. They don't know that. I'm trying to make it sound better. Right, Rob's playing with one other person, like the podcast, not the podcast.
It's a group of 4 of us.
Rob's a professional e-gamer.
Rob is on Twitch. If you can find him, good luck.
He drinks too much coffee, so he has a twitch. So we're at the end of the movie, and they decide the Guardians sort of break up because Mantis is going to go off and do her bullshit, and then Nebula is going to stay. I think. Well, Nebula leaves the team too because Nebula is not on the final team with Rocket and Groot and Valis Vel and Warlock. Nebula, what is Nebula going to do? Is she going to kill Thanos again? I don't know.
Probably.
Gamora's off with the Ravagers.
Yeah.
Having sex
just cut her out of the movie.
How about
just cut her out?
Where the hell was Michelle Yeoh and Vig Rhames and remember because I teased them at the end of the second Guardians movie. They were the original Guardians, and they were just like not in this movie. It's weird.
Oh, dude, where's Miley Cyrus? Miley, she was the voice of that robot.
That's fine. That's fine.
Oh, you're fine with that?
Yeah. So so Peter goes home to see his grandpa. So it was like I was just like, why didn't he never went back to go see him? But I guess Gunn realized that was like sort of a plot thread, so he goes back to see him, and that was kind of cool. I guess he's like working like what was he doing like in the remember the What If cartoon? It was like what if T'Challa had been kidnapped by the Ravagers, and it showed Star-Lord or Peter Quill. He's like working like a Dairy Queen.
Yeah.
Instead, so I'm wondering if that's what he's doing now. Like his grandpa made him like get a job.
That'd be fun.
Pay rent. Yeah, he's working part time
at a Dairy Queen. That would be a fun Easter. That'd be a fun post credit scene.
He's like, I can't mow his lawn, Grandpa. I gotta shift to Dairy Queen.
Yeah, exactly. Right, not reading the damn newspaper, and you see some like headline clip of Kevin Bacon tells all after being abducted by aliens or whatever. Like, it's such a stupid Easter egg. Like, Forrest, you're absolutely right. That would have been so much better. So my question is, like, who wrote this? Did James Gunn?
It's like he has like no
ChatGPT.
Yeah, he's like can't get any other job on Earth based on his experience. It's like, well, I guess I'll just work at Dairy Queen and live with my grandpa. So
that'd be really funny if his grandpa was Peacemaker's grandpa. Like he comes home, comes back to Earth, and it's just like a terrible old racist bigot man, like just this awful person.
Yeah, I think a lot of old people know that the jokes they made when they were teenagers probably don't fly now, so they're just like, I'm gonna keep mum about that.
Dude, are you kidding me? The 30-year-olds know the jokes they made don't fly now.
But the old people know, like,
James
I
Gunn
can't
knows
say
the jokes he made, the tweets he made 12 years ago don't fly now.
Tweets are just as bad as Justin Roiland's texts, apparently.
Oh, I haven't seen Justin Roiland's text,
or whatever he got fired for.
How's that
gonna resolve?
I feel bad if they're as awful as James Gunn's terrible fucking tweets.
They're probably, I don't know, probably just as bad, but it's just like I think they were just looking for a reason to get him fired. But I don't know. I saw the decoy episode of Rick and Morty yesterday. And I forgot how good that one was.
Oh, really? Yeah.
I like it's the one where it's like you don't
all
know
the different decoys.
And then you find at the very end, like the real ones are like
they weren't even on the episode till the very end. The
He's like, wait a minute, it's too quiet. Don't you mean it's quiet? What do you mean? You're supposed to say quiet. It's like, no, it's not quiet enough, Summer. Yeah, that was a pretty good one. So I still need to watch season 6. But anyway, so yeah, this was definitely the best Phase 5 movie of the MCU, which isn't saying much, but I mean, I think this was a lot better than the second one. Would y'all agree?
Yeah.
Right now, it's because the first, just because of length, and just some
And
things that were short in.
I know a lot of people love the first and like the second. I like this.
I actually went back and watched the first one.
First one's definitely it's probably one of the best Marvel movies.
Especially seeing like all the details about Rocket and going back, and you get all the what he's saying. Like he got drunk at one point in the movie and threw out some little hints about his past.
Yeah, so I'm really glad they followed up on that. I mean, that Gunn followed up on Adam Warlock. And he followed up on like Gamora and Star-Lord where they're at now. And
like, I didn't ask to get made.
Yeah, so
that was one of the best delivered lines in the MCU. You know, it's one of the worst.
Not I am Groot.
No, awful. All right. So you interrupted the joke. I was gonna make a joke. Remind me of that because I want to come back. So that was gonna be eviscerating. But let's talk about I am Groot. At the end, we hear him say, Groot say, "I love you."
Oh yeah, we didn't even mention that.
No one reacts.
Like, I love you guys.
I love you guys. No one reacts at all.
What I've heard as a way of explaining it is, you notice how you only hear him say "I am Groot," but suddenly as the characters are with him more, they just understand him.
Right, like you see Gamora.
Maybe it's their point of view of
starting to
Gamora
at the end of the movie, she now understands him, right? You see in the scene before that, like
and I think now we're just starting to understand him.
And now we understand him, and I think that's beautiful. Like,
I'm sure James Gunn would be like, yeah, that's totally what I meant.
Yeah, that's totally what I was. Yeah. Hey, what do you mean? What do you think James Gunn meant when he tweeted out? James Gunn once tweeted out in 2009, wondering which Disneyland character would be the worst to get raped by. I think it's Goofy, but Sleepy would suck too. So, like, this is James Gunn. Laughter is the best medicine. That's why I laugh at people with AIDS. These are his tweets. So those are what I got 5-4 back in 2016. So maybe the writing's always been bad.
Soul, because he keeps Ezra Miller on the payroll. So can you still hear me?
Yeah, he's gonna. Barely.
Oh shit! My thing went out. Major, plug the social media and close us out.
Bro, thanks so much for listening. We appreciate it. What do you guys think about
switch to my Power Beat.
Power Beats. Wait, you have Beats headphones? No, I'm kidding. We're not talking about the Flash. We're talking about Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 3. Now, that's why I like to call directors who write movies after they've been fired. Guys, you can find us on Zealots Podcast on Twitter. That's where we're at. We're not on Facebook because Facebook's fucking garbage and we care about democracy. Fuck yeah. Tweet us there at Zealots Podcast, guys. What you think about Guardians of the Galaxy? What you think about my takes? I know I came off super harsh, but that's only because I was just coke fueled with Scientology from watching Top Gun Maverick the night before. Dude, what a movie, dude! I have a premium, like a top line A1 Sony 65-inch OLED, like the first year they came out, right? Like just like a gorgeous television. 2016, 2017, right? So it's been like 5 years, okay? This is the first movie I've seen on my television in 5 years that I was watching the movie and I thought to myself, God damn it, I need a bigger television. Dude, I watched Top Gun Maverick and I almost went out and bought an 85-inch, dude.
Oh damn.
Yeah, dude, this movie was so good. It was so much fun, dude. So good, so fun. That's all that matters, dude. I'm just trying to have some fun. I'm just trying to watch some movies and have some fun, guys. And if you're trying to do the same, again, subscribe, leave a review. What you think about the podcast, and then Zealots Podcast on Twitter. Let Forrest know what you think about it. Major.
Yeah, now I'm Robbie. Yeah, I guess he did get his headphones.
And Forrest is somewhere in the background on his beats like a badass.
I'm sure.